I'm not really trying for my GM title. I could very well see myself playing. The chessboard usually represents who you are. This has helped me evolve my understanding of the chess world very deeply. It's like you have to make your own soup. The real test comes when you lose. We call him now Vidit 2.0. Let's play without odds.
So you want to checkmate me, yes?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I need to create chaos. Hey guys, I'm Greg Mustreader, and today I'm honored to present to you the guest who needs no introduction, the legend of the chess world, the ambassador for the game, the co-founder of Chess Base India, international master, and many other titles, many other achievements, the most hardworking chess creator to ever have lived, Sagar Shah. Sagar.
Thanks, Greg, for inviting me. And that too in a very nice setup. I'm really loving it.
Yeah, I appreciate you as a professional appreciating these small details. So I really wanted to talk about you as both as a chess player and a chess content creator. And we already, before hitting the record button, started discussing the lecture that you gave like 5 years ago. I was watching it on YouTube. I really liked it. It's called Why I Never Became a Grandmaster, something like this.
What stopped me from becoming a GM?
Yeah, what stopped you? Very instructive, and I really felt the emotions behind all this. How do you look back at this on this after all those years? Like, has anything changed? Maybe you have changed your plans and looking at Levi, for example, decided to embark on this journey again. What's the status quo?
I'm not really trying for my GM title right now, but I feel like I'm not even thinking about it. Earlier, I was like fixed that I may do it or I may not do it, like in that mindset. But now it's more like whatever happens. So let's say, for example, if an opportunity comes by and then I restart playing, for example, there could come a time where I really feel like playing from within and I feel like trying out what I've learned otherwise in my life to try it while playing. Then maybe I'll play. So it's no longer there on my mind, this point at all now. Right now, there's no chess playing happening. Chess is all around me, but I'm not playing. But it could turn into, me trying at some point.
What could possibly happen to make this change? Because obviously you are surrounded by chess stuff. Your work, your significant part of your life is chess. You speak with chess players. You interview them. So what else do you need to?
No, like for example, I do not stress my practical skills in all of this. So for example, when I'm commentating, there was one day when I commentated with Peter Lecco where we switched off the engines. And so I was just thinking with him. And next day I felt like a really surge in my strength because I didn't do it often. And recently I've been recording a video course with one of the top trainers in the world. And the trainer is making me think.
Yeah.
And while doing it, let's say we did it for some 10 hours already, I can literally sense that I am now a better player. So when such things happen, I switch from my mode where I'm not really thinking about the moves, but I'm explaining, like there's an engine, you can explain it, to now I'm thinking about what to play next. And I feel like that switch, if it continues for a long period, it happens maybe for 2 days, 5 days or a week. And then I again get back into my normal things, which I am doing. But if this goes on for a month or two, I could very well see myself playing, Because at the end of the day, I feel like playing chess is not different from, let's say, creating content or running a company. Because in everything, you have to give your best. You have to sort of think what are the ways in which you can improve. what you're doing. Like, for example, you're doing a podcast and your first podcast had poor lighting, you will fix it. If it had bad sound, you will fix it. If you made a bad thumbnail, you will improve it. If whatever it is. And I think the same thing also happens in chess. You play, you're not good at openings, you'll work on it. If you don't manage your time well, you will manage that. So I guess anyone who's good at what they are doing will find a way in anything, that be it playing chess or creating content or running a company and so on. So I don't see it very differently.
So we need to break all the computers, the evil bars, bars, and that would help. Or lock you up with some chess coach, right, to train your brain.
Yes, I think firstly something has to happen, which is not from my end, because I'm really very happy what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'll switch. So something will come up. And then eventually I'll be inspired enough to try it out, because I'm very, very inspired by the fact that the chessboard usually represents who you are. Mm-hmm. So let's say, for example, you are afraid in certain things, you will show that on the board. Like, let's say if someone's attacking you, you won't go into certain lines, certain positions. And if you evolve as a person and you do away with some of your fears and so on, I want to know if that impacts my chess or not. So this is something that I'm very, very interested in knowing, because I think I've changed as a person a lot in my journey with ChessBase India, creating a company, creating content and so on. So am I a different chess player, or when I sit at the board, will my old things resurface? Like I was a very positional player. So will I be able to attack freely? Will I be able to sacrifice pawns? So all these questions are very interesting for me. Maybe the right time will come.
Well, that's a fascinating topic. I've discussed this with many of my podcast guests, like this relation between your character traits and you on the chessboard. So you think you became like braver, more self-confident, self-assured, right?
More than brave, I think I've become more at peace with how things pan out than trying to force things. So I know I'm confident enough to see that whatever happens, I'll find a way in it. And so that gives me a lot of peace wherever I am. I'm very relaxed. I'm not stressed out. You will hardly see me being very worried in general. Yes, there are times, but I've tried to improve on that. So yeah, this has been something that has been the most important thing for me in the last two years or so, to keep on working on myself as a person.
What helped you most in that journey? Because this is, I think, something that will help many of our viewers and listeners, not just in chess, but in life in general, but in chess as well. Because we discussed this with Arjun, for example. I think the episode will be out by the time we upload the one with you. So check it out in the link is in the description. So Arjun said that a significant part of his recent rating gain came from some meditation stuff, inner engineering. You discussed this with him as well, so you know this. What helped you?
I was always kind of this person who liked to read a lot. So even when I was playing chess, I used to read a lot of books. I've read many. I used to watch a lot of video courses and so on. And that would really give me a lot of knowledge. And so when I started to do my entrepreneurial things, I read a lot of books on entrepreneurship and self-help books, the books for improving yourself. And at some point, I realized that all of this is very extrinsically motivated. So I can give you an example. Like, I wanted to lose weight, and there are a lot of books out there or a lot of material which tell you what to do. And you can eat at this time, you can eat these things, you can eat something less, you should cut down on certain things in your diet and so on. So I would call this the more extrinsic way of improvement. You have a path laid out and you follow it and you will lose weight. I think the only issue with this is that at some point you will lose your motivation to follow that path, and then you will gain back your weight. And this has happened numerous times with me. And I at some point, I realized that I need to think about this topic a little more deeply. What is my relationship with food? For example, why is it that every morning I must do the breakfast, even if I'm not hungry? Why should I have lunch? Why should I have dinner? And all these questions go much deeper than just saying like, oh, it's more than knowledge. You are kind of hitting your conditioned mind. Like you're thinking in one way for 30 years. Can you actually turn it around? Can you think differently? And so I made a decision after a lot of sort of self-introspection that I'll eat only when I feel like eating. So now there are no longer these periods like, oh, at 12 o'clock I need to eat, or at 4 p.m. I need to eat. And that has led to me losing weight easily, but also I can sustain it because now it's no longer about willpower or discipline, but it's more about understanding why I'm doing something. And so for me, this thing about understanding something within you is much better way of improving than, let's say, something which is like, oh, let's make a very big plan, like let's have the discipline in life, let's wake up every day on this time, and then you continue and you can do it. Maybe some people do it for years and eventually burn out.
So this is like this intuitive approach to your diet and to
Yes.
other things in life.
And for that, you need to constantly work with yourself. Like you cannot be living a life which is, how do I say it, filled with a lot of distractions, lot of materialistic life, and then expect some really good answers to come out, from within you. So also it's like a way of living, you become more simplistic, you are less materialistic, you are more focused. It's just a way of living, I would say.
Do you have any tools that help you with that? Maybe you meditate or do something
No,
like
I just
that?
feel like, for example, even like I have a time in a day, let's say an hour or two, where I'll go and I'll just sit and do what I feel. Like it's not a pre-planned thing. It's not like I'll carry that today I have to close my eyes and meditate. If I feel like it, I'll do it. If I feel like singing, I'll sing. If I feel like exercising. So fitness for me is more about, let's say, being at place and just trying to understand if I feel some kind of a pain somewhere, then working on that. Or if I'm feeling a bit lethargic, then just doing so just being in that moment and trying to figure out what do you want to do. And I think for that, you need to stop taking in things like books, apps. All of this is very good for knowledge. But at some point, you can say like, this part of my day is not for taking in stuff, but just being where I am and then trying to see what comes out from there. So I think also sometimes there are important decisions to be made. And in those situations, I try to sort of not think about them, just forget about them. And then some answer comes up on its own quite often.
Well, the brain works in mysterious ways. And
I don't know about it working in what way. And this is not like I have a method to it. It's just like I want to let's put it in this way. I want to become a better version of myself every day. So if I am here, I would like to reach here tomorrow, here, and I don't know where the end is, but I just keep getting better. It's just like chess, right? Like for example, you are 1900, you're making tactical errors, you want to solve more positions, get better, and so on. So just like that.
I liked your examples of how you just not think about some important decision and then the answer comes up. It reminded me, I think of Thomas Edison, who used to take a nap when he wanted to invent something, and like when he woke up, something usually some revelation would come. I wanted to ask you about you mentioned something about feeling better about your chess when you worked with Peter Leko, analyzed without the engine. But obviously you work on chess commentary like on a daily, practically on a daily basis. You produce lots and lots of content. I don't have I don't have the physical opportunity to watch all of it. I'm just looking at the thumbnails and just like, wow, how does he do it? How does he keep doing it?
No, actually, we have a good team.
Yeah, I understand that you have a
think,
team.
yeah.
I know some guys from it. Respect to all of them. You are doing a great job. You personally are involved in a very significant portion. And I wanted to ask, do you feel that this helps you in your chess? Obviously, yes, you see the evil bar. You don't maybe spend as much mental effort analyzing the position as you would have if it were a classical game and you were sitting at the board. But do you feel like it brings something to your chess? It helps you develop in that respect and you are getting stronger?
I don't know about stronger, because that would mean that I should play chess. And there are these practical aspects of chess which I should delve into, you know, which is like there is time pressure involved. There are decisions to be made very quickly. And then all of this, the tournament pressure and all of that. So I have not got into it since 5 years. Or maybe more now. It's been 7 years, close to it. So I don't know about that. But what I do know is that my understanding of the chess world, about chess improvement, about how top players think, about many little things, has grown drastically. Because I have had the opportunity to interact with players, not just in public interviews which are there on YouTube and so on, but also to look at their life. To see that at close quarters, the challenges that they face, the difficulties that they have. So, for example, I am in touch with, let's say, an under-7 national champion of India who's just beginning his or her journey. And I'm in touch with someone who's maybe, you know, at the highest peak, maybe top 10 in the world and so on, and trying to understand what are the challenges that they face and discuss it. So, I can see this entire journey and map it, and I've been very lucky that people have trusted me and shared things, and this has helped me evolve my understanding of the chess world very deeply. And this coverage that I do in different places, in different countries and so on, that has made me look at sort of how every country grows in chess, what are the things they are doing. So right from an individual approach to creating an ecosystem around chess, that understanding has become finer. But if you ask me, like, sit down and play a game with you, which I guess you might do at the end of the day, I don't know if I can just produce all of it on the board, you know.
Yeah, we'll test whether you have changed as a chess player, as you said. Well, this is the topic that really fascinates me, because I'm on my so-called adult chess improvement journey. So I'm now in my quest to obtain the FIDE Master title. That's my next goal. And I also interview lots of chess professionals, and not only on camera, we also have talks off camera, and I really enjoy it. And I feel like it should help me somehow get in their heads in a good way, like to get in the mindset of what makes a good or top chess player. And I hope that it helps me, but I cannot quantify it. I'm not sure to how big an extent it helps or not. So I wanted to ask you, who is a much more experienced chess content creator, and who has, as you already said, spoken to and befriended many top players, both the legends like Vishy Anand and like under 7, under 8 champions. So you have a huge sample size. What were the things, the insights, so to say, that helped you most in your understanding of chess, of chess psychology? Could you name like top 3 or top 5 pieces of advice that or maybe not advice, but pieces of ideas, insights that inspired you and that helped you?
I was very inspired by what Kramnik once said. This was in 2019, when all these young kids, Pragnananda, Gukesh, there was Raunak, Leon, there were 6 or 7 of them. who went and trained with him in France. And one of the sessions Kramnik mentioned, and I think I wrote an article on it, is like you have to make your own soup. And
Soup.
yeah, it's like, if you're creating a soup, you have to basically find your own ingredients. You have to see what works for you, what doesn't. And I think ingredients can be found from different people. Like you're talking with so many different people here. All of them are giving you the ingredients. When will you put in? Will you add that first? Will you add it later? In what quantity? Do you want to not have this ingredient in your soup right now? This is for you to decide. And I think this is what I always tell everyone who is on this journey of improving, whether be it a youngster who wants to get better, that you can get ingredients from others, but don't try to sort of make their soup. Because then what will happen is that you don't know why you are doing it, and you will at some point be lost in this journey, because it's a long one. It's not like it'll get over in like 2 years.
Sure.
So you take certain things from different people and then make your own recipe there. So in that sense, there are so many people who I meet and I'm able to pick up certain things and then share, but not with the intent that people should follow it. Just that, okay, these are the ingredients, choose what you like. For example, like you had Arjun here, he's just so fearless, but at the same time, when you meet him, he will not show you even one bit of that feeling that,
he's a gentle guy.
Yeah, he's so gentle. And this I am a big fan of. Like, how can someone have this killer instinct on the board, yet the moment the game ends, he's just like the most admirable person there, adorable person. I think I feel the same about Artemiev, who's very similar this way. Great player, but the most humble and kind person. And I think that really inspires me. From Pragnananda, I kind of always have learned this. I've maybe done hundreds of interviews. One thing is that he never thinks about any other things apart from chess most of the times. Like you ask him, how much rating did you gain? I don't know. How much prize money did you win? I don't know. When are you going to this tournament? And so, someone is looking after it. But ask him like, why did you play knight bd2 on move number 15? And he will give you a big answer about it. So just this very much not getting attracted by other things, but focusing on the game, focusing on improvement. And I saw that very high in Prague. And the real test comes when you lose. And you can see him when he loses, he can recover very quickly. He's not upset as much. Another player who I see this is Maksudlu. He's lost a game, you can go and talk to him and he'll talk very normally with you. And this helps him to come back with greater energy. So these are a few things. I also think Vidit, who is a very close friend of mine, we call him now Vidit 2.0 because he evolved into a different person altogether on the chessboard. From being a safe player which helped him reach 2700, being very positionally strong, to taking decisions which are not characteristic of him, taking risks, playing for a win, not offering draws. All of this helped him to become this 2.0, that he's different. And I saw how much he had to change as a person, not as just a player. So this was also very, very inspiring to see. I mean, different players, for example, when I went to Anish and I met him, I saw him being able to sort of switch between things very quickly. He's a father of 3 kids, husband. And when we went there, he was able to do so many things. He recorded a video course with me. And so one day before I went and I said, what are we going to record tomorrow? Should we plan? And he said, okay. And I said, I want to sort of have one game of yours in every opening that we will look at. And he said, all right, let's get to it. And he just opened his database. He went through the different openings. He said, okay, this game in Ruy Lopez, this game in Italian, this game in Queen's Gambit. And within an hour, he had 26 games or 27 games just jotted down. And he said, okay, let's meet tomorrow. 1 hour. Now I have to go and do something else. And
write some tweets.
Even that, for example, he might be in middle of something and he can open his phone and just tweet something with great presence, because if you put something wrong on social media, you can be in trouble. And he's always able to bring in the humor, not offend too many people. Okay, some he might be, but this quality is very much goes towards him. Like I have not seen anyone being able to switch between so many things so seamlessly. Mm-hmm. And so these are a few of the people. I mean, Vishy Anand is someone whom I think, with all the achievements that he has, you cannot find someone more normal. Like you meet him and you feel connected. You can talk with him, but like 5-time world champion, played against the best in the world. But you don't get this feeling of being separated from. I don't know, when you might meet him.
I met him.
You met him.
He's very chill.
Exactly. So you get this feeling like you can have a conversation with him, and I think that is something which is very. I don't know how someone can be so down to earth after achieving so much, and that also is something worth learning from these people. So these are all non-chess oriented qualities that I can see from the people that help them in their chess, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very much for sharing some of the ingredients from your soup.
And I think if someone, let's just say that if someone really thrives on being aggressive and then improving, and then they try to use the Arjun approach to chess, they might not really succeed, because that's not who they are. And so I feel like everyone has to see what resonates with them.
Yeah, I got it. So basically, guys, when you watch or listen to my podcast, because they can be listened to on any podcasting platforms. If you didn't know, check it out. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc., etc. So you should pick out the ingredients that suit you. Maybe something is too spicy for you. Maybe something is too bland. I don't know. I wanted to talk to you also as an ambassador and a person who contributed very much to the chess boom worldwide and in India in particular. I wanted to talk to you about the current generation of Indian prodigies. You already mentioned Vidit. He's also, by the way, agreed to come on the podcast. We'll talk to him about Vidit 2.0. So we mentioned Arjun, Prague. Let's compare. Also, of course, we need to discuss Gukesh to add him to this list. So how would you compare them, like in terms of both chess style and personality-wise? Like what would be the differences between them? Obviously, they are all very strong and very interesting personalities, but they are different.
I think one player whom I know in terms of playing style, and it became more clear in this tournament, is Nihal. Very much like Karpov. The way he plays, the way in which he's able to maneuver his pieces and so on. I get this strong feeling that he is kind of Karpov, a more improved version, because with every generation you have
better
people
and better.
who kind of fine-tune what the predecessors did.
We played his team, by the way, in the round of 16 in Blitz. Unfortunately, we got kicked out.
He's one player whom I think is not improved as quickly as the others have, but he's very much up there, and he will, I think, at some point make it to the top 10 in the world and so on. So he's very good. I think it's very difficult to put them into like personalities as such. I think with Arjun, everyone has spoken about his style as being completely uncompromising. Like Magnus said, he's a madman because he comes at you with everything he's got in every single game. So that is his style, and I really enjoy seeing his games because they are very direct in every sense. There's very few draws that happen and so on. Prag is more precise in that sense. You will see him playing with more precision if you compare it with an engine, but also not as sharp as Arjun. But if you give him a technical position, I think maybe he's you cannot say as good as Magnus yet, because Magnus does it for so many years, but he's right up there. Like he beat Caruana in Norway chess in a very, very simplified endgame, which you wouldn't expect a youngster to beat such a seasoned opponent.
Sure.
So that is one. And I think Gukesh, I don't know about Gukesh. The thing is, I spoke with his trainer recently, and he said Gaevsky is his current trainer, but Vishnu, who was his former trainer, who helped him reach 2750 or so, till that stage 2720. He says that basically they used to talk a lot about not just prepare and practice chess, but talk a lot about these factors that happened on the board, like the psychological things that are there. And I think with Gukesh, he's like this sponge, who absorbs all the different things and then is able to produce it on the board. So that's why his classical chess is so good. He's very good at classical chess, but his rapid and blitz is a little bit weaker than the top players. Because in classical chess, he's able to sort of synthesize everything and come up with good ideas, plans, and so on. That's what I get the sense. And to become a better rapid and blitz player, you need other kind of skills.
Yeah, I hope that he focuses more on it, because it's it's becoming more and more important for
yes,
nowadays
but for him now until December, it's all about.
He has a different focus, of course. Later,
but once he achieves that, perhaps he will think about different things. But I guess from what we saw Ding doing here in Astana, it's not going to be easy, because Ding is coming back into form.
He's back. It's very interesting. I wanted to ask about your predictions for the match. You interviewed Ding. You watched him in action. He scored quite well.
Yes.
One of the top performances on board one. So what's your prediction for the Gukesh versus Ding match?
It keeps changing, right?
Yeah, and it keeps, and obviously you have known Gukesh since he was like a very little kid. I've watched your interview with him when he was like 11 or something like that. So yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. So what would be like the percentages assigned to the probability of win of Gukesh and of Ding?
I think from what I saw Ding here, he looked so happy. He looked like different as a player. He also beat many strong players. He beat Dubov, he beat Sindarov, and he lost only one game in Rapid against Magnus. So I get this feeling that it will be a closer match than what I had anticipated with how Ding was playing in, let's say, Weissenhaus or in Norway chess. And at that point, I felt Gukesh would be like 70% favorite to 30% Ding. But with this performance, already I can sense maybe 60-40, 55-45. I do feel that Gukesh is still a slight favorite because Ding is not at his peak yet. Even if you look at him on the board, he does feel a bit tensed, nervous, sometimes shaking a bit, not his absolute calm self which he was back in, let's say, 2019 or something like this. So, but you never know, right? Like, things can change. Something good happens on your personal front. You suddenly have this huge surge of energy. You're feeling good, and then you start playing beautiful chess. So I think predictions are just it's fun to discuss about the match, to talk about it, but I'm very much certain that no one really knows how the players are going to feel before the event.
Yeah, we will see. But I can definitely confirm that Dean is a different person. I've played some football, I mean soccer for the American viewers, with him on one of the days here in Astana. Yeah, and he was very energetic.
Yes.
I was trying
Yes.
to match his speed on
Yes.
the on the pitch, and he was pretty darn quick and energetic. So yeah, I can attest to that. Okay, unfortunately, we are heading to the close of the discussion. I'd love to have a part 2 sometime, but as tradition, we play some blitz at the end.
Sure.
Obviously, you are a much stronger player than me. Maybe some time odds.
What's your strength like?
I was playing on the amateur board here. I'm like over the board. I'm 1900 something across all formats, and on chess.com I'm like 2300. So we can play with odds or without odds, whatever suits you.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Let's play without odds so that
Okay.
I don't get crushed.
Okay. Okay. Let's see the changes in your chess personality. Need to this. Okay.
Ah. So you want to checkmate me, yes?
Yeah, you are a positional player. I don't stand a chance otherwise. Okay.
So you have it all prepared, huh?
No. I didn't know that you are an E5 player. I don't really prepare to my guests of podcasts.
No, but this line, you're already playing so fast.
I've seen it somewhere. I think Nepo advocated for something like that, but I might be crazy and missing all this. I didn't play the King's Gambit in this tournament because I didn't want to be
For your team, you didn't want to be a liability.
to be risking
Yeah.
this much. So yeah, I think I missed something up. I mixed something up, but okay. Yeah, there should have been a different way to play this. Okay. At least you lose the castle rights.
Yes, that's true. See, you have to be fearless, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'll go here, maybe. Let's try and come here.
Okay.
You're okay with dropping a piece, yes?
It happens. Okay. This is life. Of course, I'm not okay with dropping a piece. It's not the best thing in the world. Not okay, life goes on. Let's go.
Oh, man.
I need to create chaos.
You really want to Should I agree to it? Let's try.
Yeah. I'm sure it doesn't work, but I should have tried it.
But it's the best practical try.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, 26. Oh my God.
Nice. Not the best technique by myself, but should be winning.
Yeah, you are very close to winning. Let's hope that I can give you a tough time.
Hope I calculated it correctly. Whew. Sagar, thank you very much. I got lucky, and it was a crazy game.
Yeah, it was. This was a great move. When you took here and I had to take and then lose this pawn.
Yeah, it was a lucky find. Okay, thanks for all the content and all the work you're doing, and I hope we'll see each other for part 2 at some different tournament later on.
Thank you.
Don't forget to subscribe to Chess Base India, guys, and like and comment on this podcast. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.